Good morning, welcome to your maths lesson for Tuesday. We're going to move on to a completely brand new unit today, and it's something that is my personal favourite part of maths, but seems to strike fear into the heart of children and adults alike. So our new topic that we're moving on to is fractions. Hopefully by the end of this unit you will feel, lots of children feel a lot of fear about fractions, and I'm going to show you that you don't need to at all. There's loads of really cool things that you can do with fractions, but again, the absolute key to it is knowing your times tables. If you don't know your times tables, you will get into a mess with this, like all aspects of math. So please keep going on your TT Rockstars every day. Okay. So our title today is just exploring fractions. We're going to do a practical task, if you possibly can, just to kind of play with them a little bit. And well, you will see as we go along. Okay, so the first question is, let's hide this. How do you feel about fractions? And most people go, oh, I feel terrible. I'm like down here right in the pit, which you might at the moment. But my message for you today is really keep an open mind with this. Don't assume that you can't do something with a fraction, because I think people kind of overcomplicate it and think it's something weird because of the way it looks, but it really isn't. Okay. So today's vocabulary, we're going to talk about equal. If something is equal, it means it's the same as. The parts of a shape or a fraction. What is a whole? So what is a whole piece? What is a denominator, which is just the bottom part of the fraction underneath the line? And what is a numerator, which is just the part that's on the top? Shouldn't be anything that is new to you or completely alien. Okay, so what is a fraction? Fraction is just parts of a whole. You can see that each of those green blobs just represents half of a whole shape. That's all it is. So numerator is the top part, and in simple terms, if you're looking at a shape, it's just how many parts you have shaded, and the denominator is the bottom part, how many equal parts the whole part has been split into. This is really, really important. The parts need to be equal. Some things that you'll see don't actually represent a fraction. Okay. So I'm going to move me over here now. No, I'm not. I'm going to go up here. Right. Okay. So what's fraction of each of these images are shaded? So all you have to do is say in the numerator part, so the top part above the line, how many parts do you have shaded? And underneath, how many parts are each shape split into? Pause here, write them down, and then we'll talk about them together. And here are your answers. So the first one, which was the circle, is a third because one green part is shaded. That went at the top, that's your numerator, and there were 3 parts altogether, which is your denominator. So it's just 1/3, 1 line 3. The second one was 3/7, and the third one was 3/8. So hopefully that was nice and easy for you. Okay, today, if we possibly can, we're going to create our own fraction wall. This is a fractions wall. They're really, really useful for seeing equivalencies and so on as we go on. We're not going to, in pairs, write sentences showing what we found. You're going to do that by yourself because you're at home, unless you can find a mum or a dad to help you with that, which would be great too. So you're going to end up creating something that looks a bit like this. It's a practical task. If you do not have the stuff for the practical task, like you don't have a 30cm ruler, it is no problem. You can just use this image. So you can just pause here and use this image to do the task after it. So you might end up with something like this. This is a fractions wall. This is also a fractions wall. Okay, you're going to watch this YouTube video. This is a man who sings through the fractions wall. I'm not going to be singing on the internet, and he is going to show you exactly what you will need. If you would like to do the task, so you can watch this through, if you'd like to do the task, which I really, really encourage because it's good fun, you need an A4 piece of paper or card, anything will do, a pen, scissors, and a 30cm ruler if you have one. You can do it with a 15cm one, you would just need to double it up. So hopefully that will make it accessible to everyone. If you really don't have a ruler at home, that doesn't matter. You can just use one of those fractions rule, but I really, really encourage you to try this task because it's going to make your next bit a lot easier. So this is a pause moment for you to go and watch that video, go and have a go at the fractions wall. I've also posted this link underneath my link on the website, so it's nice and easy for everyone to access. Okay, and these are the questions you are going to use your fractions wall to answer. So question 1 is 2/4 is equal to, and remember if we have a 4 as a denominator, it's quarters, not fourths. Lots of people say fourths, but the proper correct terminology is quarters. Question 2, can you find any other fractions that are equal to each other? Question 3, using your greater, less than, or equal signs, write 3 sentences in your book. So you are going to say something like half is equal to, find something on your wall that it is equal to. Number 4, 1/3 equals 2/6 and 2/3 equals 4/6. What do you notice about the numerator and the denominator? And number 5, how many 6 do you need to create a whole? So you are going to answer those questions. And then we're going to move on. Okay, so these were just a few ideas that I had. You can pause here. I won't go through all of them with you because it's a bit boring to listen to me going through all of those with you. Okay. So this is the important bit. So this is tell me about your fractions wall. So you should have a wall created like this. And these are kind of the vocabulary that you will need. So you could say some fractions are equal. You can talk about parts of the whole, the denominator, the numerator, and you're just going to write 3 sentences about your fractions wall. So these are some ideas to get you started. Let's move. Oh, it's really difficult to keep moving me about the screen. There we go. Okay. So these are things that you can use to help you with this. So I already know that this is something. So I know that this is something. I'll show you in the next slide some of my own examples. So hopefully you can then get some ideas for your own. So these are just a few ideas that you could use to get yourself started. So you can pause here to jot them down. And then these were some that I did myself. So I already know that half would be half one of the strips of paper. So if you've got a 30 centimetre strip, half would be 15. So 1/4 is half the half, because I've seen that on my wall. So 1/4 of the length of 30 centimetres would be 7.5, which is half of 15. I noticed that a 9th was smaller than a 6th. The bigger the denominator, the smaller the fraction was on my wall. So obviously a half you've got like that, but 1/10 was like that. And then if 1/3 was bigger than 1/4, then I surmise that 2/3 must be bigger than 2/4. I hope you have fun with this today. If you can't do the practical activity, it doesn't matter. There are no right or wrong answers for today, and we're going to be looking at fractions in a bit more detail tomorrow and for the rest of the week. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the task, and I will see you soon.